Melon, meloncollieflaur です。Hello everyone, I am meloncollieflaur. And you know what today is? It's Watermelon Wednesday! SUIKA 水曜日だよ. We've made it to the middle of the week, once again. Just a few more days until the weekend. So be it school or work or any project that you're working on, hang on in there. You got this. I believe in you. Also, happy December. おはようございます。こんにちは。こんばんは。私はメロンコリフラワーです。今日の配信はスイカゲームだよ。さあ、Let's get started. わOkay. Can I actually be decent today, I wonder? I'm not sure. Also, the only news that I know of at the moment is that Metroid Prime 4 is coming out, I think, tomorrow. So, for those of you who are excited for that, I hope you enjoy the game. I never really got into Metroid per se, but it's definitely very interesting. And it seems like it's the... I want to say out of 4 space games from Nintendo, or space franchises, it feels like Metroid is the second most thriving out of the 4. I guess Pikmin would be the most thriving. It is pretty cute though. But as far as like F-Zero and Star Fox, it seems that there hasn't really been much else, I guess, left. Which is a shame really, because the games have plenty of characters to draw from and there's plenty of story and lore to draw from, but I guess they don't really know what to do. I don't know. Very interesting though. Okay, so nice. Strawberry. Get the smaller fruit on the left side. Grape. Persimmon. Strawberry. Cherry. Grape. Drop. Not quite. Okay. There we go. So now I need to figure out how I want to do this then. Oh, nice. That'll work. Strawberry, pickle plum, strawberry, grape. Oh. And then cherry. Huh, melon. That worked out really well, actually. Okay. Pickle plum. Strawberry. That'll work. And then strawberry here. Cherry. Okay. Grape, strawberry, persimmon, persimmon. Very nice. Cherry, decapone, strawberry, cherry. Cherry, cherry, strawberry, persimmon. Grape, cherry. Good. Now what? Now what? どうしよう。Okay. So grape, grape, pickle plum. Very nice. Strawberry. Oh, well, that's not gonna work. Cherry, pickle plum, cherry. That works. Strawberry. Cherry. Grape. Strawberry, cherry. Okay. Grape. Cherry. Persimmon. Cherry. Melon. Whoa. SUIKA. Nice. Not bad. SUIKA on the first one. That's probably a record for me, actually. But what do I do now? I guess we just build in the best way that we can. Oh, that was very scary. Kawaii metal. Okay, strawberry, cherry, strawberry, pickle plum, grape. Oh. Okay. Decapone. Strawberry. Grape. There's nothing I can do about that either. Not with the apple on top. 2241. Not bad. 2241. Okay. So, cherry, grape, strawberry, persimmon, lots of persimmon, grape, strawberry, pickle plum. Huh. Cherry, cherry. Okay. Grape, grape, strawberry, cherry. Oh. Strawberry, decapon. Grape, grape, cherry, cherry. Nice. Oh. Decapon, cherry, strawberry. Hello, Milo Seal. Come, Melon. Hope you're doing well today. Strawberry. Grape, cherry, cherry. Nice. Cherry. How have you been? I've been pretty good. I feel great, actually. How about you? Cherry. Pickle plum. What? Good too. I'm glad. You got the melon. Melon. Strawberry. Grape. Okay. Cherry. Oh. Persimmon hop. Cherry. The MD stuff came in the mail. So you did buy it then? I didn't know if you bought any. Oh wait, no, you did say so. You said you got it before the pre-orders closed or something like that, right? I think so anyway. Grape, persimmon, cherry. Ah. Strawberry, cherry, grape. Since that's how a doll is here. Oh. Naruhodo melon. Oh. Strawberry, grape. Okay. Strawberry, 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 strawberry. Strawberry, grape. Pickle plum, cherry, strawberry. Okay. Pickle plum, strawberry. Persimmon, grape. Pickle plum, persimmon. Nice. Cherry. Grape. Okay. Persimmon. Pickle plum. Everything in the ordered arrived, and now only thing left to arrive is the Nori plush. Oh. Okay, so you're getting the full set then. I can only assume there's a set. Cherry, 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 cherry. Ah. Oh, 1500. 1500. Cherry, strawberry, persimmon, grape, pickle plum, strawberry, strawberry, cherry, decopon. Nice. Cherry. Strawberry. Not strawberry, cherry. That's a strawberry. Grape. Grape. Good afternoon, Melon. Hello, Bob. Con Melon. Hope you're doing well. Grape, grape. Cherry. What? Strawberry. Strawberry. Decopon. Strawberry. Oh. Cherry. Decopon. Grape. We just finished using the leaf blower outside. Oh, that's really funny, considering that grass tends to get cut on Wednesdays for me usually. Yep, and I'm glad they've been doing different characters like Dogcon and Nori into bushes. Maybe they'll do the full cast. Nice to see that there's not like a huge bias, I guess. It's kind of like if you make a plush of Miku and like only Miku, I suppose. Or I guess just Teto and only Teto, since Teto is now the new Miku. Decopon. Murder Jones has a lot of characters though. Okay. So what you're saying is they're gonna do the full set then. Kinda like with the Pokemon. Right? Grape. Cherry. What? Okay, cherry. Cherry. Strawberry. Decopon. Cherry. Cherry. Grape. Grape. Decopon. Nice. Okay. Strawberry. Cherry, cherry. I'm just wondering now. Seems like getting plushies made is becoming easier or becoming more mainstream, I guess. I guess that means there's no real reason to not attempt to do it, right? It does make me wonder. I figured things that would sell the best would be like stickers or pins and maybe acrylics, but it seems that plushies are really selling. If I had to guess any characters they would make into plushies left, probably Lizzie, the Eva, Alice, and the teacher for the lulz. I used to have a friend who was getting into crocheting plushies. Oh. Huh. Well, there you go. I do find it to be very interesting, because plushies do take up a decent amount of space, even if they are small. Then again, I guess a lot of people have a dedicated room for them as well. Sometimes there's like a guest room, quote unquote, and that room usually has all the plushies on a bed or above the headboard or headstand, nightstand, and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Oh. The teacher in the show is voiced by Liam Vickers, the show's creator, and so I can see happening. Oh. Wonder why they didn't do them first then. Maybe they didn't want to show bias. My room is chock full of plushies. I've had to get multiple shelves for them at this point. Oh. So you keep them on shelves then. I see, I see. I have seen people display their plushies in a croquet hammock. Oh, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. It's kind of funny too. Ah. Oh. Strawberry, strawberry. Cherry, strawberry, cherry. Okay. Plushies can also be used for skits. Oh yeah, absolutely. If people want to... I guess it wouldn't really be stop motion, but I know people do actually use plushies for skits and stuff. A lot of younger people do it. 1592 1592 I do remember those days though, of like using plushies and action figures and toys and stuff. And it's like, I guess it's like playing house or just acting out a scenario. Or like with Legos and stuff as well. It's really interesting like where the mind goes when you're younger, or what type of scenarios that you make as a kid. Luigi fan 00001, one of my favorite Mario plush tubers. Oh, you actually watched some. Luigi fan quadruple 01. I can only assume that they're very young. Not because of plushies, but by the name alone. Everyone collects plushies after all. Oh. Strawberry. I think he's in his 20s since he started the channel in 2010. Aww. I gotta go drop off a package, so I might do Christmas presents. Ah, fair enough. Please, be safe. Itterashai, Melon. お気をつけて。Of course, of course. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever actually watched plush tubers before. Maybe I have, like a long time ago, and I don't remember. I feel like I should remember though. If that is the case, it's very distinct, right? I guess I knew of some claymation ones. I don't remember them by name, but maybe I used to watch those a lot without realizing. Huh. But then again, I grew up on on old YouTube and like Vimeo and what was the other one? Daily Motion, I guess. And stuff like that. Back when not too many things were established yet. Cherry, strawberry. Oh. Melon. Remember the star rating system? Star rating system? Oh, I kind of remember it. I guess I didn't pay attention to it much at the time. I just know that the like-dislike bar kept changing colors. But I forgot about the star rating system. And again, this is a time where I was mostly watching things on YouTube and not actually thinking about creating anything at all, really. But I forgot about that, actually. I guess the most prominent part for me, or the time when I was watching YouTube the most, was when people were starting to make the transition from walkthroughs to Let's Plays. So I watched a lot of Gen 4 competitive battling, I think. I think that's what got me hooked at the time. It was a very interesting time too. I could definitely see the passion there at the time. People probably still do it. It's just that since Gen 4 was like the first gen to basically do Wi-Fi battling, it became pretty interesting. Yes, as well as the rays of using a webcam when playing a game. So with those, I barely saw at the time. I didn't see too many people doing the webcam stuff. Like, I heard there were a lot of, because I did watch a lot of walkthroughs, but then the Let's Plays were where I started hearing voices without cameras. So it would be the videos, like they would be playing the game. Sometimes it would be recorded or pre-recorded, depending. But that was the way that they did it. They just did it faceless. It was just a voice while playing the game. So I used to watch a lot of those. I guess the ones with faces, when did I watch a lot of those? Because I'm not entirely sure. Unless there was like an occasion where like a YouTuber just decided to show their face and then people started doing it, but or like they were showing like they went to like a convention or something, but other than that, it was mostly just voice to game. Did you ever watch Sugar Conroy's Let's Plays? I did, I think. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they were faceless though. I think it was just voice at the time. I watched Sugar Conroy, Hayden, Flaming Spade, Shofu, Munching Orange, Hero Volty. I watched a lot of them. Interestingly enough. So yeah. Proton John, Nintendo Capri Sun, Masanella. Yeah. I may have watched Proton John once or twice. I've heard of the name Nintendo Capri Sun. I think I watched Maryland as well. Because they ended up doing a lot of things like being very creative with locks. So like they did like egg lock stuff or wet lock, which is kind of funny. Or whatever. Probably said, I don't know if it was actually a wedlock, but it makes for a funny name. So I was intrigued by like those because it made the games interesting, and it was more than just Nuzlocke rules at the time as well. Because I do like thematic teams and stuff, or just coming up with thematic stuff instead of turning it into like turning Pokemon into Fire Emblem, I guess. So I really liked like hatching, where it was like you hatch eggs, or you did like a randomizer, or it's like pick these Pokemon to start with, and then you go out on your journey and stuff like that. Or like Wonder Trade locks. Wonder Trade stuff was kind of interesting. Or I guess not GTS, because you didn't get random Pokemon from GTS, I guess. But just like the Wonder Trade stuff was funny. I mean, sure, you could probably have like a whole team of Magikarps, but Magikarp does become a powerful Pokemon later, even though you're gonna run around with a lot of Pokemon with Splash. But then again, if you establish rules where you don't use duplicates and stuff, then you know. 1829. 1829. But yeah, there was a lot of like pre-recorded, this is how the battle went. And they were basically being the YouTubers were basically being the announcers from like Pokemon Stadium and saying like how the doing the play-by-play, I guess is what it's called. And it was just very interesting to watch that and listen to it. The time used to get struggle, yeah. Exactly. And then into, I guess, tackle and flail. But yeah. I think it's kind of cool. I don't see anything wrong with like starting a journey with like a different Pokemon. If anything, I feel like that would really add to it. Like, even if it's just one Pokemon change, it's like, okay, your starter is non-conventional. It's like, you would go, oh hey, I have a Dratini, that's pretty cool. Starting off with a dragon might be fun. And then you realize that it'll take you forever to evolve that dragon. But dragons get good moves, but at the same time, Dratini does get Dragon Rage. So I guess that makes it really easy as well. I also know Chugga, John, and Tim, aka Capri Sun, run a joint channel called The Runaway Guys. Oh, I see. So then I assume you know a lot of them then as well. Trying to think of some other ones too, because there was more than just Pokemon as well. Because it's just that the Pokemon thing started the Let's Play craze. I guess that would explain like the whole Game Grumps thing as well too. That came later though for me. The poor soul's trying to get Hydreigon in Gen 5. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just dealing with Hustle the whole time. And Hustle isn't the best gamble in the world. Unfortunately. But I do like that whole like maybe randomized starter thing, because there's some Pokemon that you wouldn't think to use ever. Maybe because you never found them before or seen them before. Or got a chance to get them, and by the time you found them, you already had an established team. There was one person I watched. I think it was closer to like maybe a few years ago. It wasn't like a long time ago. Where they were playing a Pokemon game, and after each gym, they would train a different team. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't see too many people do that. A lot of times I think people would like to try to speedrun. Even though the whole point of Pokemon is the journey, for the most part. I've never tried the gym thing though, the switching between gyms thing. I think that would be really cool though. I would like to try something like that at some point. I don't know which game though. Right. I think it's because after the trainer's experience comes slow from wild battles. Yeah, because at least I think so. You get the most experience from fighting trainers. So, and I think this is why Johto was set up the way that it was as well. I think a lot of people complain that Johto, feels kind of like sluggish or weird because, or empty because there's like a level gap or something like that. But I think part of the experience was to rely on getting the phone numbers from trainers and rematching them as well. The early versus SUIKA, basically. Melon. Or headbutting trees as well. Because you could go, okay, well, I'm raising this Pokemon. Say I'm raising a flying type, an early flying type, like Pidgeyspear Hoot Hoot. Or I guess even Hoppip. But Hoppip's kind of a special case. Because it takes a while for Hoppip to get a decent offensive attack. You either go to the forest and fight a bunch of bugs, maybe, or you can headbutt trees and you may run into a bunch of bugs as well and raise them for a bit. Or if you get a grass type, which are very difficult to raise in Johto, as soon as you get a fishing rod, start fishing and making your Bellsprout or Oddish or whoever stronger, or even Chikorita even stronger by fishing, fighting Magikarp, sometimes Goldeen, sometimes Poliwag, I think, as well. Because then that's like the best way to not run into a poison water type. Yes, because school trainer Nick loves cheating in the competitions for Sunstones. And Gold Silver... Oh, that's right, I did say Johto, didn't I? I guess I didn't specify. My mind went to Gold Silver Crystal, but I had to remember that Heart Gold Soul Silver is also Johto, so it's a bit different. But yeah, competitions and stuff. One thing I didn't really do or invest in was the Pokathlon. I never really did it. Well, maybe one day I will look into that, because I've never done that. I feel like that's really fun and a missed opportunity for me to do. People don't talk... I'm sure there are a lot of people that actually talk about Pokathlon, since it's the only games that did it. I just never really did them. I've actually done them with my Soul Silver team. Was it fun? Did you enjoy it? The only thing I know is that apparently it's the one thing that gives Sunkern use. And that's all I know. Unfortunately. But I've always wanted to create like a grass-like team of some sort to be somewhat viable. Because the whole point in Pokemon, other than the journey, is figuring out how to get around certain things. And since Pokemon can learn other moves that aren't stab, you'd have to figure that out. Even if it means going the Pokemon Stadium route and being very creative with Double Team Sand Attack or Growl Tail Whip and stuff like that. Or agility and whatnot, or moves that make the opponent's speed go down so that you can be faster. You know, like glare headbutt and stuff like that. Grass types do have a lot of weaknesses though, so obviously it's going to be difficult. But that jump from Gen 1 to Gen 2 legitimately was kind of harsh. Like the bug poison thing really was different. It went from making Zubat strong to Zubat not so strong. Or making poison types good to poison types only being super effective to one type. And bugs only being effective to... Well, they were effective to 3 types when Gen 2 came along. So... But yeah, poison type got the shorter end of the stick there. I enjoyed it, especially since it was the only way to get Togekiss in the game. Really? I don't remember how Togetic evolves actually. Didn't know that. There you go, using your smug on me again. Don't think I don't see you. I sold shiny stones for the points. Oh, it is shiny stone. I forgot about that. Huh. Shiny stones and dusk stones and stuff like that. I forgot about that. If only Eviolite was introduced in Gen 4. You could come up with some very interesting things with that. But hey, limitations and all that. I think it's really fun. That's why I just wish that everyone didn't play Pokemon one way these days. Because if you don't play it that way, then it's boring or you're too casual or something like that. Which is really upsetting. Because Pokemon is huge. But there's a meta to everything, so... Can't really change the currents or the tides, can we? 1906. Kyuhyaku-roku. I think my team was for Alligator, Togekiss, Ampharos, Blossom, Dragonite, and Lugia. Okay. I mean, it's a decently rounded team. Water, normal flying, electric, grass, dragon flying, and psychic flying, yeah. I don't see why not. Let me see. I always found it to be really weird that in the beginning, I think the only like steel type you have access to is Magnemite. Unless you find a metal coat and trade the Onyx that you get from Violet City. Pinecone. Metal coat for them as well. Headbutt trees. But you would more than likely find Magnemite before finding a metal coat, right? Unless I'm incorrect. Then again, I don't remember if the delivery man can sometimes give you items like those. That would be pretty useful. I do like Fortress. Fortress is really cute. It's funny to think that the Kanto gym leaders use more Johto Pokemon in the post game than the actual gym leaders of Johto. Yeah, I would say it's to make up for it, to be honest with you. It is interesting to think about. Because there is no real reason for Morty to use just the Gengar line. Or I guess Ghastly line. I'm not really sure why they didn't get creative in Gen 2 with that. Even with Gold, Silver, and Crystal. If you were introducing like a new generation in a different region. I know they wanted a sense of familiarity as well. It's like, oh, well, I've never seen some of these Pokemon before. But then, like, why not introduce more? Like, well, they do, because you get, like, Hoothoot, right? Hoothoot, Sentret, Hoppip. Mischievous is so underrated. I thought Mischievous was a pretty good pick, actually. I didn't know that they were considered underrated. Having an early ghost that isn't part poison is actually really good. Well, I say early ghost, but I guess Mischievous isn't really early, is she? So I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if they meant to make some Pokemon to just be useless, or they wanted you to figure out how to utilize the Pokemon. Or something like that. At least in Gold, Silver, Crystal. Before abilities. Basically before abilities. I do remember Satoru Iwata was the one who was able to code Kanto onto the cartridge. Yeah! Iwata was the reason for both regions being in one game, yeah. So yeah. I thought it was really cool. Oh. Okay. Grape. Apple plum, cherry. Grape. Oh. Nice. I've been thinking of doing Colosseum. Have you never played it before? Colosseum is underrated. I don't see too many playthroughs of Colosseum. I think I ended up playing XT first though. Like I ended up getting XT for like a present. And I ended up getting Colosseum later. I have the game just waiting to get to it. Wait. What? What do you mean by that? I have the game just waiting to get to it. What are you doing currently? If you don't mind me asking. Time. I mean, that's fair. But, you know. I know of you to be a Super Paper Mario speedrunner, so I figured if that's the case, then you could be... No! That's not... I see what you're doing there. No! I appreciate it though. You can't do that to me. Don't think I'm not onto your tricks. Are you intimidated by Colosseum? Is the real question. That's the funny part though. Because nowadays people are very critical on Pokemon. Because, you know, people who've played or grew up with Gen 1 and 2 and 3 are now adults. So it's like Pokemon doesn't feel fun to them and feels more hand-holdy to them. But most people aren't playing Colosseum. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows that Colosseum and XD are more brutal. So why not play Colosseum and XD? In fact, Gen 3 has the most games in the series. Compared to any other gen. Which you would think would make having a living dex be very easy. All things considered. Well, I have watched the MDJVT video Colosseum to prepare for it. What? Prepare for it? What do you mean? You don't just want to play the game? Huh. I figured you would just play the game and go on the journey. I didn't know that you were trying to do something specific. That makes more sense when you say time now. I pressed the wrong button. I hope you like this background though. I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway. He only went over mechanics, no story stuff. Wait, oh, so you were watching the video for mechanics stuff? Well, that's Gen 3. Yeah, it was intermission. No, I pressed the wrong button. So, I can explain that though. Well, the button thing. When you have two monitors, sometimes, depending on which monitor you're clicked into, if you press a hotkey, it can actually activate multiple things at once. So, the expression that I clicked was my 3 key. But I was on my other monitor. And so what it did was also go to a different scene for the most part. My OBS stuff is a mess. It's a huge mess. It's something that I need to get to. But, you know. Yeah, but also how Shadow Pokemon will slowly show their information as the bars go down. Well, that's the fun though. That's what I mean. So if you've never played the game before, I think that's the fun in it. So like blind playthroughs of Coliseum and XD, I feel like are actually pretty exhilarating. The only downside is, since they are so different, if people do stream them for the first time, a lot of people are going to backseat heavily. Like, they're not even going to try to just watch it for what it is. They're gonna be like, well, this game's very different. It's Gen 3, and so there's the special, like, the special physical split only happens with the types, and shadow Pokemon work in this way, and shadow moves are physical, and shadow moves hurt non-shadow Pokemon, and you have to purify them and you'll get some cool moves and all that type of stuff. I don't want to waste time flits. You don't have to waste time flits. You don't have to waste anything. That's what I'm saying, Milo. Just tell you what. This week or next week, just boot up the game. Don't worry too much. Don't worry too much about what's going on. I guess immerse yourself in the story. Play the game as if you were playing in Hoenn, because the mechanics are still Hoenn, just with shadow Pokemon, and go from there. And it's all double battles for the most part, so just go from there. Don't worry too much about it. It's not really about making a mistake or making the wrong, decision, because if you're not used to playing the game, you will just learn over time. At least that's how I feel about it. So don't worry too much about it. Should be fun, I think. I believe you think a little too critically. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, it's fine. Because you have to also remember, someone's played a game for the first time. I know that we do have access to a lot of guides these days. Like, for example, even in like the Fire Emblem series, there are some games that are really big, that are either very cryptic or you wouldn't know what to do in certain situations because it's not really explained in the game, or that there are multiple like paths to take that you're not sure of. But if everyone bought the game and played it for the first time, they wouldn't really know that, and everyone would go down a different path. And then I guess that's when people would share their experiences on their path. And then they'd go, oh, I could have gotten this at this time. I will remember that for the future. And I think that's how walkthroughs actually come up, or how they get started. They record what they did at that time. Can I get this earlier? Now that I know this, can I do that? What would happen if I do this at this time? Will it let me do that? Or am I going to be in a soft lock? Or what does this change this outcome? And stuff like that. I think that's how that usually goes. But games can be intimidating, especially if you're going from a newer game to an older one, since mechanics are different. And this goes for both Pokemon and Fire Emblem, I think. Or just any game in general. Even Paper Mario. So, yeah, just all I can say is just take it slow and enjoy the ride. And enjoy the 3D models. Yes, and the permanent loss if your party members go down. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Because some characters probably have more impact on the story than others as well. So yeah, it's all about the journey, and you're not gonna have a perfect playthrough anyway. So I can see Dugong in 3D. Well, yeah, Pokemon Stadium. But yes, you can see Dugong in 3D if you get a Dugong in Coliseum. Well, since Coliseum was the first game that had Gen 3 Pokemon in 3D, that should be a treat. Unless you played Pokemon Battle Revolution. Because Pokemon Battle Revolution uses all of the 3D models from Stadium 2, Coliseum XD. One thing I do want to ask? Sure. Wow. Did you ever attempt Mount Battle in Coliseum or XD? I did actually, because it's a great way to level as well. And though, I mean, you could see it as like the pit of 100 trials in a way. But you don't lose your leveling, so. I've definitely tried it a few times, yeah. It's a great way to level. It can be very taxing though, especially if you're aiming for something specific. But yeah, it's really fun. And if you're into Pit of 100 Trials, then you will like Mount Battle. A fantastic way to level. Yeah, I really did enjoy that. The only thing I didn't enjoy was the Ore Coliseum, because it might as well have been like Battle Tower in Crystal. And I had a hard time with Battle Tower in Crystal. I'd say that the Ore Coliseum is probably the hardest, maybe. Because I don't think I've ever won a single battle. I'm just that bad at Pokemon, I think, though, so. But yeah. Oh yeah, and the PAL version, instead of getting a bonus disc for Celebi or Jirachi, we got a bundle of Pokemon box. I think you did say that before, actually. Luckily, you guys didn't have a weird situation where Pokemon box was only sold in one place for less than a year. And that's why you see US prices, or the US version of Pokemon box, being over $1,000. For literally no real reason. Other than just to have. Because no one ever plays it or uses it. They just have it and go, well, this is like $1,000+. If you want it, you pay up. Otherwise, you can emulate. Which people can do, by the way. I don't necessarily condone it, but people can do that. It is possible. So. The English PAL Pokemon box can be expensive as well, but not anywhere near the US. Yeah, not nearly as much, that's for sure. Because it was easier for you guys to have. I'm not even sure. I wonder if the European version, or rather the PAL version, even works on the North American version of the carts, because it's probably only looking for language. I don't know for certain though. I never tried. Granted, if you don't have a region-free GameCube, then obviously. However, if you have a Wii though, you could. Because that's the easiest way to region-free. that'd be a nice showcase though. I'll do one more. Because people don't, like, if they do have it, they should, like, try it. Plus it has that mode, right? Where you can play Ruby and Sapphire as if it's on the Game Boy player. And you are able to trade the different lineage Pokemon between cards. That's true too. Yeah, Gen 3 started that. Gen 3 finally had it where you could trade between different region cards and stuff. But the thing about it is GameCubes are region locked with discs, I believe. I have a Game Boy player though. I do too, actually. I'm glad I still have mine. I've only ever had one GameCube. Granted, the disc drive isn't the best. Or rather, I guess the laser isn't the best. The disc drive, interestingly enough, is fine. But I've had it for years. I didn't get the system day one, but it's the only GameCube I've ever had, and I've had it for years. So, and I feel like that's the main reason to have a GameCube. Otherwise, you might as well use a Wii. Gotta replace the clock battery on mine. That too, but at least the clock batteries are easy to replace, right? I don't even remember how long the clock batteries go for before they actually go out. That is an interesting thing, isn't it? Because even the Wii and the Wii U use clock batteries like that too. Pretty sure they're the same, I think. So yeah. Game Boy player. There are things that the Game Boy player can do that can't really be emulated per se, even though people do try. I think they just use an internal clock like the DS line. Really? Huh. You may be right. I didn't know about that. I do know that the Wii U does have has one though. Cause you can there's a spot that you unscrew. I don't remember for the Wii though. But yeah, no, like starting a Pokemon journey is fun. The start of a Pokemon journey is always fun. But yeah, I definitely think that Colosseum is one that people don't play as much. Even though it's literally like that difficulty that people are looking for. That's what, now, I don't really like get super angry about things very often, but that is one of those things that makes me like because people keep saying that Pokemon is too easy. But a lot of times people don't play Colosseum. I don't know. Have your cake and eat it too, I guess. Or something like that. Because people will go, but it's hard. And it's like, well, yeah, it is. That's what you wanted. That's literally what you wanted. What do you mean? Oh yeah, I forgot to say with the Milo tick I had, I managed to win Masterclass for Beauty for it. Good. I'd hope so, all things considered. Since it must be the most, beautiful and eloquent, right? Imagine shiny hunting, right? Well, I guess shiny hunting it wouldn't be that bad because it's one tile, right? As long as you know the tile, you're fine. Melon. Cherry. Persimmon. The yellow and blue does look good. It really, really does. I do like shiny Milo tick. It makes the most sense too, since it's supposed to be really beautiful. But yeah, both colors are great. Both normal and shiny are great. I think my least favorite shiny that's actually distinguishable is probably Houndoom shiny. I'm not a huge fan of that one. It looks very weird to me. Not sure what they were trying to go for there. Oh. Grape. Strawberry. It's funny as well because I will show it to people who know nothing about Pokemon and they'll say it's beautiful. The Milotic or a shiny Milotic? Or both. It's a really great Pokemon. Like, Phoebus goes through the same thing as Magikarp, basically. Except Gyarados is more of a... I guess it's the opposite, because Gyarados is known as the atrocious Pokemon. Which is, I guess, the opposite of beautiful, right? Both? Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny. I'm like a huge Pokemon fan, but... it's one of those situations where someone will go, "Oh, you're a huge Pokemon fan, yeah? Name every Pokemon in Pokedex order." Or, "Do you do competitive? How good are you?" And stuff like that. And it's like, I wish I was good at competitive. But I would rather come up with weird and untraditional, like, not teams, but like moves and stuff, movesets. Because if everyone uses the same carbon copy team set and moves, you can technically work around that because everyone's using the same thing. So when you run into a different set of that Pokemon, you kind of get confused. And you go, why would you do that? Because everyone else is doing this. Or something like that. Milotic is more bulky, yeah. Sinnoh teams you like, yeah. Especially Lucario. You never know if you're going to fight a physical Lucario or a special Lucario. But either of them works, that's the funny part. So that's really cool. 1576. 1576. Speaking of Lucario, did you see the announcement? Is it Pokemon Unite related? Or is it Legends ZA related? I haven't actually. I guess you can tell me. Might as well. Cherry. Grape. Cherry. Give it a second mega. What, in ZA? Smug face Milo. Doesn't exist. Smug face Milo can't hurt you. Yep. Why? To compete with like Mewtwo X and Y and Charizard X and Y? Like, why? Did it need it? Why? Surely there's some lore behind this. Maybe. I think it's also because Karina is a part of the DLC story. Yeah, Karina is the, like in the original X and Y, her Lucario did run at you, so yeah, I could see that. But I thought she was already, like, doing that thing anyway in the original. Holly the Smug Face does not live in your head rent-free. No, it doesn't live in my head rent-free because you usually post it. You always post it. Like, Whenever I know you're giving me info that can be a little like only slightly rage baity, you do that. Or like, it's kind of like one of those situations where it's like, guess what I'm having, or something like that. Or it's like, a lot of things are going down right now. In like a, or there sure is a lot of, what is it? It's like there sure is a lot of, bloodshed going on at the moment. Sips tea type situation. So like, yeah. It's like, guess who got a second mega evolution? Or it's like, something has happened, but I won't tell. Well, I know this face reminds me a lot of Agnes Taekyon from Uma Musume. The fact that you know that name baffles me a little bit because I've never seen that name in my life. I never got into Uma Musume, unfortunately. I'm not sure if it was a means of getting people to gamble more or if it was just because they were cute horse girls or something. Because what other reason would you have to turn the real like names of the horses or what have you into horse girls specifically? They were like, how can we market these real life horses? Turn them into horse anime girls. And then my question is, but why though? They made another game, Uma Musume party games, that has a pixel art style. That's kind of cool actually. I never heard of that before. I've never heard anyone talk about that. Was this recent or was this, or is this older? Like 2 weeks ago? Oh, it's very recent. I see. Unless it's like a world or an international release situation versus it's been out for ages in Japan but just hadn't been localized yet situation. Because I know that's a thing as well. Huh. Nice. Oh. Cherry. Melon. Grape. Okay, pick up on. I know the manga and anime for it were a thing before the game, right? Yeah. Because I feel like the game was like super recent anyway, or at least the localization or the internationalization was. Okay. Yeah, I think it's probably one of those situations of cute girls doing cute things or something like that. Because I wonder if it would have sold if they just made them like anime boys as well. Or if they were like anime boys or anything like that. But since it's all about marketing, I guess the only thing that would sell would be anime girls. I'm not sure. Yeah, Agnes Taekyon is pretty funny. Surely they can't be funnier than Gold Ship, though. Everyone's favorite. Right. It's like a situation with me, or like with anyone who doesn't know what Pokemon is, but they know who Pikachu is, right? I at least know who Gold Ship is. You'd be surprised, I guess. Oh, there it is. There it is. Ah, strawberry, grape, cherry. Nice. Ah, oh, strawberry. Okay. Okay. Grape. Strawberry. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really gotten into mobile games. Well, I would know, right? But like, I don't know if I would really be able to get into mobile games, I guess. I don't think there's anything wrong with them though. Oh goody is also funny because her whole personality is food. Oh. Speaking of food, I need to find something. After stream. Ah. 2063. 2067. No. 63. 7じゃない. Bone meal? Maybe. Doesn't sound too bad, actually. Okay. So. 見てくれてありがとう。聞いてくれてありがとう。Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. A very nice and chill SUIKA game stream. Weekly SUIKA game. I'm trying to think if I will be able to stream another time at all this week or next week. I'm not sure. I will do my best. I will do my best. I want to try to stream before Wednesday again, but I'm not entirely sure. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm meloncollieflaur, and I hope to see you guys next time as well. Bye bye. Oh, it's Melon.